Well, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, Opulence Nation, and all of our guests from around the world. I want to apologize for a little bit of a delay this evening. We have three very competent and experienced hosts, and we all have managed to break the technology. Without further ado, I want to welcome you to this call. My name is Rebecca Robinson. I'm a lifestyle advisor with Opulence Global. And here's our host, Hervé Back. When I first saw this opportunity over 16 years ago, there was one thing that really struck me as a theme, and it's actually been the theme through the entire time I've been with Opulence, and that is freedom. But tonight, what we're talking about is fashion, right? So I wanted to start by taking you through a little bit of, first off, our CEO's philosophy. So for those of you who are maybe newer, maybe you came in with the Safe Home Revolution brand, you haven't heard this as much lately, although we do still hear it sometimes. And that is our CEO's philosophy that if it exists, make it better. If it doesn't exist, create it. And when I first got launched with Opulence in 2008, we had a fashion line which was essentially maybe slightly better quality than the jewelry you would find in your local jewelry store at the mall or maybe a standalone shop. But it was predominantly jewelry for women, and it was not extended into fashion, it was jewelry. And so our CEO had and has this philosophy. He actually applies it to everything, not just the products, but our compensation plan, our culture, that if it doesn't exist, create it. And if it does exist, make it better. And from the beginning, Ramin's vision was not to just be a jewelry or a fashion company, but to actually go after the luxury brands, Louis Vuitton, Rolex, Cartier, Gucci, every luxury brand, and to be the best. And you can see through time how we've attained that level. We are actually far beyond in terms of quality of products what we have. And our branding has come very, very far in just 20 short years, really. When you consider that Louis Vuitton and Gucci, they've been around for well over 100 years, and we are just at 20 years now. It's quite remarkable to see where we've come in such a short time. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, I'm still looking for IFRA too. So they're both coming in at some point. But I wanted to start with the fashion. So fashion is what we had. And forgive me, my timeline's a little bit off probably for the introduction of some of these items. So those of you who are lifers with me, you'll be able to put in the chat any kind of correction if my timeline is a little bit off. But we started with general 18 karat gold jewelry. And along the way, we launched FERI. So FERI is our luxury brand. This is, I always tell people, if you're thinking about an equivalent, our FERI brand is the luxury brand. It is the Louis Vuitton, it is the Chanel, the Gucci, the Rolex. All of those brands basically rolled into one. And FERI as a brand it started actually in jewelry. We started with 925 silver like everyone else. However, the distinction we have always had is that it's still been above. So our 925 silver line also included natural rhodium plating on the jewelry. Now, what does that mean? Well, rhodium is a very expensive metal, and essentially when you coat your jewelry, you coat your silver with rhodium plating, and natural rhodium plating, obviously it's the most pure and expensive. What it does is it gives a durability to the silver so that it actually doesn't tarnish, and you can wear it if you have an allergy to silver. So the remarkable thing is, so what I've done tonight is I've kind of dressed in the years of our fashion expansion. So the ring that I have on here, I'm not sure if I'm going to get it in the camera for you or not. The ring I have on here, this is one of our original FERI pieces. It's a 925 silver. It has rhodium plating and it is never tarnished, and it's at least 14 years old. So that speaks to the quality of, actually, when I got introduced to Opulence, although I was already very open to the business opportunity, what really drew me to Opulence was the philosophy that you get what you pay for and very high quality products. So even back then, even though we only had 18 karat jewelry, I could see the vision of high quality products. I'm just looking in here. This actually has an original FERI stamp too. So I'm not sure if you're aware, but our logo was not always a swan. It was actually two Fs that looked a little too similar to Fendi. So in our evolution, it's been very exciting for every one of these steps to come along and see the growth that has happened, right? So I have my FERI original. It's probably more than 14 years old. It's one of the first pieces I ever got. It's still one of my favorites. I actually want to buy another one in 950 because this one's a little banged up. But in the evolution of FERI, we've had so many different steps. We have had opticals. These are a little worn out, so I don't really want you to look too closely at them. I wore these for 6 years. Now I'm back to wearing them for the computer at home. But we waited in anticipation for months and months and months for the FERI opticals. We also, if you would prefer to look like a rock star, launched our FERI shields, right? And our FERI shields, you can see, there's even bling on the side. What's really crazy about these FERI shields is that they're 400 UV protection. Nobody in the world does 400 UV protection. We want to talk about what's unique about our products. 400 UV protection is what NASA uses. And here's what I have discovered personally as somebody who suffers occasionally from migraines, including today. I love my FERI shields. When I have to get on the computer, I find that the tint in them actually protects my eyes. It makes it more comfortable to look at the screen if I have to do work or if I have to have screen time when I've got a headache. It makes everything much more comfortable. And it's probably some of the reason, aside from the FERI addiction, that I have 3 pairs of them. But the other thing is, these are at least 15 years old because I know I got these in 2010. So this is what I'm talking about, quality. These are made in Italy. They're like so strong. Me $600, but I've had them for 15 years. So that's not really all that expensive. And what we don't really talk about a lot is that how many people on here would actually own designer brand pieces and multiples of them if it weren't for Opulence. I know I wouldn't. I love the quality. And to be honest, if you look at an LV handbag, they're not made the way that FERI handbags are made. They're not made to last. They're made to show, right? So we launched into handbags and wallets, and I didn't really have room around me to bring all my handbags and show you. I have a beautiful original FERI Golden Glow that was even before we got the monogram cloth inside of the purses. But I wanted to show you this. So this is my, hold on. I'm going to take my blur off because I want you guys to actually see what this is like. So this is my beautiful FERI wallet. I know that some of you have the stingray purses that have the same ostrich pattern on it. The texture, it's absolutely beautiful. I want to show you this because you can see the detail in the sewing and the stitching and the craftsmanship in the hardware. Like my hardware is a little bit banged up now, but it still looks pretty good. It's so sturdy and so durable. I'm going to see how disorganized I am. Beautiful, beautiful made wallet. And the beautiful FERI. I'm trying to get to the camera. I'm a little backwards. Embossed FERI. And let me tell you something. This wallet is 15 years old. And it still smells like brand new leather inside. So I would never have invested $600 in a wallet for myself, but I'm so glad that I did. This is one of my like beautiful pieces of FERI that I love, and I take care of it, so that's why it's good. But we went from handbags and wallets, and at this point now we were still all luxury. So it was high-end jewelry and handbags and wallets. At one point we had some phone cases, but we all know how fast phones flip over, and that wasn't really an easy thing to keep up with. And along the way, we launched Posh. Now, Posh is our, oh, and then going back to FERI for a minute. FERI has a very special mantra that is design, function, and exclusivity. So you can see in everything that we do, there is the design, that's the fashion part, but our SVP, who is our chief designer, gives us so much function. I mean, I'm often heard complaining about my FERI purses, how I love all the compartments and how it's a pain that I have all these compartments, right? There's so much function to them and exclusivity, so you can't get them anywhere else. When I have my Posh handbag or my FERI handbag with me and somebody says, oh, it's beautiful, I mean, they can't get it anywhere except from me. And I love that. I love the exclusivity of it. It's probably because I'm a Capricorn and I like nice things. But FERI is about that, right? Posh is about every day, everywhere. When people ask me the difference, I liken Posh to the Michael Kors, the Coach, the Kate Spade. Again, it's not the same, but people need a point of reference and relatability. So I wore some original, I have a problem with this camera. I wore some original Posh tonight. So this was our original Posh line, and you can see it's quite nice. It's got a nice design to it. Again, I don't even know how old these are. These are from 12, 14, 15 years ago. So it speaks to the quality, right? It speaks to the craftsmanship. Again, I take care of my jewelry, but I still have these like a decade later. Now, what was really nice about Posh was that it was a more affordable brand. It was maybe easier to sell in some markets because of the affordability. But we did have a bit of a challenge, and that was the materials that we were using. You know, this is metal. And in our beautiful African and Caribbean countries, it became a little bit of a trick with the humidity, right? And so the Posh as a brand, it took off and we all were, you know, soaking it up. But eventually what happened is that we went Posh next level, and that was called Posh Vibe. And what was amazing about Posh Vibe, my necklace, my bracelet, now we have beautiful semi-precious stones that can withstand the climates all across the world. I mean, Canada has a 80-degree range. In the winter, it can go as low as -30, and in the summer, it can go as high as plus 35 degrees Celsius, right? So we wanted something that, and lots of humidity here, we wanted something that was going to be lasting. Now, again, I wore this because I wanted to show you guys. The hardware on this is crazy. This necklace is, I'm sure I've had it 8 years. It still looks brand new. It's got multi-strands, but the hardware on it is okay. The guys might tune out here, but the girls are going to know what I'm talking about. As you age, if your dexterity starts to have challenges, if you have arthritis, if you have crazy long nails, I don't have those crazy long nails like some of you do. I don't know how you function with those, even though they look nice. But the hardware is like heavy duty. So if you had something that was much finer than this, there's no way, and I'm not talking about I wear this once in a while. This is one of my favorite pieces. I wear this, I don't even know, a couple times a week. It gets heavy duty use. And my Facebook memories pop up 7 years ago, 8 years ago, and I'm wearing this necklace. So that's how I know how old it is. Our beautiful magnesite bracelets. I mean, this is my second one. I kind of wear them out. But here's what's unique. This is not just rope. This is German threading. And somewhere in a notebook I could tell you way more details about it, but it's not just strung together. Every single piece of jewelry that we have is purposely thought out, and there are unique features about it. Now, what else am I wearing? Okay, FERI. So FERI luxury line. This again, this is the FERI Descendador. This is now, I'm going to call it vintage. It's tungsten. We don't even have a tungsten line right now. I really hope we bring one back. There we go. I love this watch. I have been known to wear it even when I need a battery for it because it's like jewelry. It's beautiful. And it actually has an original FERI logo on it. Okay, now, last one, FERI Mosh, our ultra luxury. I didn't really talk about the monogram collection either. I have a pair of monogram shoes that have lasted me for about 6 years. Again, quality, right? High quality. If you look at LV, monogram, anything, they use a vegetable leather. I don't know what level it's at, but our level is a level higher. So everything we do is a level higher. Now, FERI Mosh is our ultra luxury. I am not part of the FERI Mosh Club yet. I will be someday. However, I want to tell you the story about this gem right here. Because the first time I saw it, and we're talking about quality, right? What makes this unique? So this set, there we go. This set is FERI. But the first time I saw it was on Sanaz. We were at a conference, and our FERI line was still developing. And all of us in the group around her said, "Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. Is that FERI Mosh?" And she had this giddy little smile on her face. And then she said, "No, it's FERI." So what else is unique about FERI? Well, in the land of synthetic gemstones, there is A, AA, AAA cubic zirconia. So in our original line of FERI, we had AAA grade cubic zirconia. However, and that's what this one is. This is an original, again, I have a lot of vintage FERI from the 925 line, but I'm collecting my 950 now. And in the new FERI Palladium 950, our actual like real silver collection now, those are swan cut stones. So they're not just AAA grade, they are swan cut stones. They are cut specifically for us, just like you would cut diamonds, which is why people cannot tell the difference between our FERI synthetic stones and real diamonds. People always think I'm wearing a real diamond. Maybe not quite so much with this one, it's pretty big. But I've got some smaller ones. So I want to open it up right now. I've been doing a lot of talking. I have kind of fast-tracked us through some of our jewelry. And of course, you know, all of this was building up to 2017 when we launched our FERI Flawless. So you can kind of see now how we went from a fashion company to, or a jewelry company to a fashion company. And of course, designers, what do? They expand into skincare, they expand into makeup and other realms. Of course, we've got hosiery. I didn't even talk about that. The hosiery, again, kind of mostly for the ladies, I'm making an assumption, but really the hosiery is amazing. It's such a high quality, and the durability of it, again, if you take care of it, unlike what you go and get from the department store, that as soon as you try to put them on, maybe they rip. The FERI hosiery, even just the neutral color or the black color, like forget about all the fancy designs we have. It's, if you don't have some, you really need to get a pair. Like, it's an investment. And it sounds strange, but you know, when you're wearing nice things, you feel better. You feel more opulent. It actually shifts and levels up your mindset. When I traded in my last car and leveled up to a luxury car, I mean, I leveled up. It changed my mindset. It wasn't, it shocked me. To this day, 2.5 years later, every time I get into my car, I'm thinking at a different level. I'm thinking at an opulent level, right? And now I'm working to get Ramin to pay for that car instead, because who wants to pay for it yourself, right? All right, so let's open up the chat. I'm just looking to see, Hervé, are you here with us now?
Hello,
Oh,
hello.
Nefra is back. Yay!
Yes, I'm here, and
Honestly,
Ifa is back, so we'll give her the opportunity to, to take it over.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let me say, my sister Rebecca, you are doing phenomenal. I got a chance to listen to the last 10 minutes or so, and I love how you were doing show and tell. So why don't I continue with the show and tell? Hello, everybody. Let me
Yes.
do here gallery view so I can see everybody. There we go. So let me show you what I'm wearing tonight as well. Also Posh, which is where we started. And I love what you said about where it ties in, like even though the density, if you guys know this set, the density is not, it's not light, right? It's quite heavy, but because of the way that it's made, right, it can really withhold itself. Okay, so it's personally one of my absolute favorite because it goes with any outfit, right? Tonight I'm wearing white and purple. The other day I was wearing green. It goes with anything, right? And then of course it comes with this beautiful bracelet, okay, completely matched as well. Okay, and I'm wearing one of my favorite rings here. Oh my goodness, I was in Toronto a few weeks ago, well, 2 weeks now, for the forensic. Many of us were there, and my sister-in-law loves it. She wanted to take it from me. I said no, this is absolute one of my favorites here. Okay, so this is what I'm wearing tonight. Is always, like my sister Rebecca mentioned, I love mixing and matching, right? And because of the fact that even the people that you're talking to, that you're meeting every day, they may have different things that speak to them. So mixing and matching is good. If you're only wearing FERI and they ask you the price, one is like, okay, it's not for me. But when you're mixing and matching, you're showing them actually you can wear it all. And here, it's one of my all-time favorite. I have few timepieces. This one is my favorite because again, it goes with anything and everything. All right, and of course, right here, my FERI ring. Yeah, so one side on Posh, you can say, and the other side on FERI. And that's how I love to deck out. And there isn't a day that I go somewhere and someone does not ask me, oh my God, I love this watch. I love this ring, right? So I remember talking to, when we were preparing for this, telling Rebecca, fashion for me has always been a conversation starter, right? When people see you first, what is the first thing they're going to see is how you look. Believe it or not, even though we find that's cliche, but that's all they're going to see. They don't know anything about you yet. So they're going to look at you and they're going to see what you're wearing. So by wearing your fashion, even if I'm going to the mosque, if I'm going anywhere, I don't go anywhere without it. It became part of my identity. It's part of my daily routine, right? Grocery store, wherever that I'm going to, picking up halal meat, whatever, I always wear it. And guess what? It's always a conversation starter. So that is really what I love about our fashion. And speaking of our Posh, actually, I did have a slide here. Let me see if I can share it just to show you. I'm not sure if Rebecca already talked about the healing properties of our Posh. No, okay, good. Do you guys know? Oh, host disabled. If you can allow me, my brother, to share, I would really appreciate it. Do you know that Posh has 15 healing properties? Yes, 15 healing properties. So those people that are into gemstones, right, and wearing something fashion not just to look good, but also that care for their health, mention that. Yes, we have 15 different healing properties in our Posh, and I wanted just to go through some of them here. I'm still not able to share the screen here, but what I can do, I can open up and I can talk about it. The healing properties. It's right in our back office, by the way. I found that. Posh vibe, Sandra says, yes. Yes. So right here, the first one is one that many of us love, Mother of Pearl, right? Mother of Pearl has both traditional and new age, metaphysical and healing properties. It is said to attract prosperity. I mean, who does not want prosperity, right? And the second one I have here is agate. I've never heard of that one. But agate is the most noticeable properties overall. It is balancing yin and yang energy. We've all heard of yin and yang energy, right? So this is the one that you want to have. And the third one here, it's called quartzite. Okay, quartzite stabilizes positive changes by anchoring them in the fabric of your physical and subtle bodies. Oh my goodness. And then the fourth one here, it's the one that Rebecca is actually wearing today. It's called magnesite. Magnesite is a wonderful, relaxing, and calming stone to use in meditation, and it has the potential to aid you to create quite amazing changes in your life. So yes, that's why.
Calming. I wear it a lot.
Yes, that's why Rebecca is radiating always, right? So definitely, if you're looking for that calm, that feeling, definitely you want to grab whatever Rebecca is wearing tonight. And okay, host disabled attendee. Okay, so
Shop.opulence.com/RebRob.
yes, exactly. Exactly. No problem. No problem. I'm just gonna speak. Everybody knows how I look like, so just enjoy my voice here.
Let's
And
not
then
risk getting anyone kicked off again.
that's it. That's it. And then we have bronzite. Bronzite is used for protection, as it is not only repels, but also sends back the negative energies to the sender. So yes. So next time you're going to a meeting, right? And you want to make sure that you don't attract any negativity, wear that, right? And then we have jasper. I've heard of this a lot. Jasper is known metaphysically as a stone of gentleness, comfort, and relaxation. Okay.
So you have that.
Yes.
You have that nice green piece.
Exactly. I have two different greens. I love jasper. Yes. And then you have amethyst. Amethyst is a meditative and calming stone, a lot of calming, oh my God, which works in the emotional, spiritual, and physical planes to provide calm, balance, patience, and peace. Wow. Who does not want that, right? Mm-hmm. And then we have sodalite. Sodalite is a stone of logic, rationality, and efficiency. It is helpful for work in groups, and it stimulates thought. So definitely, we all need sodalite in our lives. And then we have aventurine. Aventurine is said to benefit one in all areas of creativity and imagination, as well as intellect and mental clarity. It is believed that it enhances prosperity and brings career success. Wow. And then we have carnelian. Carnelian is an agate class of chalcedony, that is stone of creativity, individuality, and courage. And then we have quartz. I know quartz. Quartz is a power stone. It has been called the universal crystal because of its many uses. It enhances energy by absorbing, storing, amplifying, balancing, focusing, and transmitting. And I believe the ring that you have, Rebecca, would you say it's made from quartz?
I'm not sure about this one. I think this one is the cubic zirconia.
Okay. All right. And then we have lapis lazuli. It's mentally, lapis lazuli has helpful energy. It can bring mental and emotional virility and strengthen the mind. It also is said to enhance creativity. Dream work and dream recall are two mystical uses of lapis lazuli. All right.
So
And then yes, go
I
ahead.
just want to add, lapis lazuli has been around forever. Like the ancient Egyptians had it in all of their like their pharaohs' jewelry. It's actually in the fairy mosh piece that Lawrence has. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful royal blue color. And as we all know here, blue is what? The color of freedom.
Yes. Yes. I love that. I love that. Oh my God. Maria says one of her favorites as well.
Yeah.
Okay, I love it. So it's sinking in. It's speaking to you guys, right? I have four more to go through, and then I'm gonna come back on screen here. All right, healing properties here. So yeah, feel free to share in the chat what speaks to you. And then we have bamboo coral. Okay, again, we're all familiar with this, many of us. Coral is of organic origin. Coral can be used to reconnect with nature and in its variety of wonders. Coral also attracts love and prosperity, particularly red coral. You know, how long have we been hearing red is the color of love, right? Um, Shell pearls, again, something we're very familiar with. I have few of something made from that, few of them. Pearls attune is the wear to ups and downs of life. They are calming and centering. They give purity and promote faith, charity and integrity, truth and loyalty. Wow. And lastly but not least, jade. Jade. This is the green, beautiful stone. It can attract and enhance love of all kinds. It is also a stone of fidelity and generosity. It is also considered to be good for the physical heart and for emotional balance and stability. It is used in crystal healing for increasing self reliance. Jade is also used in crystal healing for lung problems, kidney problems. I know Henry will love this. Kidney problems, immune system weakness, PTSD, and nervous system overwork. So, what does that say to you about our company? I'm sure my sister Rebecca talked about this. When our CEO says, um, straight up, we either make it better or create it, right? We never ever have something that's already existing. We are different. So if there is one lesson that you can walk away with everything I read to you today is the fact that what we make it with intention, with purity, and definitely efficiency, right? So imagine even our jewelry is bringing people all kinds of health. That is something to be proud about. That's something to brag about, right? So I absolutely love it.
So I see Anne is asking if you can have a list. This is actually in your back office. It's actually a beautiful poster. You can printing it on your home printer, it may not be the same, but you can actually send this to a printer and get them to put it on a nice glossy paper for you, even just an 8x10. It's a beautiful printout of all the different color stones with all of their benefits. One thing, we didn't I just want to close this loop because we really haven't spent any time tonight talking about fairy mosh, and I want to just offer a couple of unique things about fairy mosh. So if you haven't already kind of deduced that what we have is not like anybody else, let me introduce you to fairy mosh. And if you go to the jewelry store and you buy a ring, doesn't matter what it is, could be topaz or garnet or diamond, whatever. If you're buying it from a jewelry store, it's probably what they call a production piece of jewelry, which means they have a mold and they make 100, 500, 1,000 copies of this ring. Okay. And it's typically a 5-step process from beginning to end, how that ring is made. FERI Mosh is a 22-step process to get a piece of jewelry. It starts with the FERI Mosh owner getting sized, and then they create an individual unique mold for your piece of FERI Mosh, and it's a 22-step process, not a 5-step, 22-step process. I have notes somewhere in my office that I haven't found yet of every single one of those 22 steps. Nobody needs to know that. But what we want to focus on tonight, right, is not just, shopping for the fashion. It's what makes us so unique. We are so far above. We are not like any other network marketing company. And I really love where Ramin is taking us in this culture, because we happen to get paid through a network marketing compensation structure. But that's like asking me, how do I get paid at my property management job? Like, it doesn't matter. What is it that makes my company unique? What is it that makes my product unique? What makes what I bring to the table unique? That's what matters, right? It doesn't matter how I get paid. Of course, we have a FERI Mosh type compensation plan that, yes, it does matter, because you don't want to do all the work for nothing. But I hope that you guys have gleaned a little bit of extra information here tonight. You can see my passion for fashion is here, right? It's the foundation of Opulence. But what we have is so much different. It's that our philosophy is always to be better. It's that our philosophy is so much to be better that we don't have a return department. I mean, think about that. We have over 1,000 different items that we sell, and we don't have a return department. I know we all get excited about FOL. I would never live without FOL. In fact, I ran out of Divine, and I've been crying about it for a week because I was so busy I didn't get an order in, and I can't wait to get my next bottle. I need it, right? But I love my fashion. And by the way, everyone, get a really nice piece of fashion. It doesn't have to be a high expensive FERI piece. Get a nice posh timepiece. Like, timepieces in themselves, oh my gosh, like that was one I didn't even really talk about, right? We have guarantees on these. They are water resistant to 5 ATM. Like, there's so many. Oh, I mean, I scratched the surface tonight. But my posh timepieces are the best business card I've ever had. When Ifra talks about it being a conversation starter, people say, what do you do? I showed them my posh handbag. I love my posh handbag because it's much more affordable to most people. When I showed them my $1,000 handbag, they're like, oh, I can't do that. When I showed them a $250 handbag, they're like, oh yeah, that's normal, right? And it's a walking business card. My watch is a walking business card. This one, I don't wear it often. It's pretty bling bling. But really, like, what do you do? Oh, I sell fashion. Like, it speaks for itself. Fountain of Life. Oh, I told you I can't live without it. It's right here. I love it, but not everybody wants to taste it right away. Some people have other health things going on, whatever. But the fashion is the fashion. And everybody knows somebody they want to buy fashion for. But we're really unique. We can't say in an hour how unique we are. Watch the 25 reasons, right? Like, that video is in your back office. But there's so much. Ifra, I don't know if you were on, I was talking about my FERI wallet. Like, this is 15 years old, right? And it still smells like brand new. I mean, I take care of it, but it still smells like brand. I open it up sometimes and go, oh, I love that smell of it. I know, I'm a bit of a weirdo, but that's okay. We have something very, very special here. You just have to go digging for some of this information. Like, there's just so much of it now to really get in and know our heritage. Like, call me up and schedule a call with me if you really want to know. Like, I could just talk about this for hours because I've sat in so many conferences and sat on so many trainings, and I've learned and I've loved and I've experienced, right? Our fashion really, you know, how many people in the chat, put a 1 in the chat if you have a piece of jewelry or some kind of keepsake that maybe it isn't high monetary value, but it's highly sentimental to you, right? Like, I have a ring that my mom and dad gave me that, so obviously I've always had a passion for fashion. I found this ring in a store when I was 10 years old, and I begged and I pleaded and I begged and I pleaded for months. Got told I was not getting it. It's my birthstone, and they gave it to me for Christmas when I was 10. When I turned 30, they had it reset in white gold for me. So that this ring, oh, now you guys are all gonna know how old I am, but this ring is several decades old. It is not of high monetary value. I look at the garnet now and I think, I'm not even sure if it's a genuine garnet. I think it is, but it's pretty banged up because I've been wearing it for decades. It doesn't have a high monetary value, but it's high sentimental value to me. That is a keepsake for my whole life, right? And that's what FERI is to me. FERI Flawless is the best skincare I have ever used. And I have used some of the other network marketing brands. I've used other expensive department store brands. And it's face, moisturize. There's not 7 different steps. Like, that drives me crazy, right? You don't stick with that. And but the fashion, it's like, people will come back to you. The skincare and the health and wellness and the supplements, this is good. These are great products to have, consumable items that people always have to reorder from you, but don't kid yourself. People are always looking for that nice, unique gift to give for a graduation, for a wedding, for a baby, for a birthday, for an anniversary. Who is the one? Marion Adam, I think, said for the I'm sorry days, right? When you have to say I'm sorry and you want to give a really nice gift. Sometimes you should say sorry to yourself and get yourself a gift. And by the way, we have lovely gift cards now. So you can get all of this in gift cards.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, my sister Rebecca, for sharing your passion. You're right. We can talk about it all day, all night. The hour, we're at the top of the hour. This is what I want to close it with. Some of you are sitting there. You're probably, I call them the FOL babies. I was born after FOL, right? 7 years ago when FOL came. To me, fashion and all that is just something that, was secondary to me. However, this is what you want to take it home with. You're probably wondering, how can I use fashion to build my business when right now everything I'm doing is health and wellness? Here is the reality. Our company, the last 20 years, we were able to create 17 millionaires. And I want you to write in the chat, during what period was that created? Was it during, after the health and wellness, or during fashion only? I want to see it. I want to see it in the chat. How many of you think only fashion? Okay. How many of you think fashion? I see fashion. Yes. Fashion, right? Sandra, Rebecca, of course. Fashion. Ronan, yes. Sauda, fashion. Right? So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? At the end of the day, the most prestigious, the most effective way that we have, and the biggest advantage that we have in any other company in our industry, is our fashion. This is why we cannot afford to ignore our fashion. Even if you're not selling it every day, make sure, as Rebecca mentioned, that you're decked out every single day. So if you don't have any fashion pieces at home, make sure that you order them tonight. Just the other night, I was talking to my sister, Rhoda Muse. She's on the call, and she was choosing. She's our new LA. Congratulations, those of you that are taking advantage of our massive builder promotion. And she said to me, what is your advice? I said, you have a $500 of free products. I advised her the fashion package. Yes. Because at the end of the day, when she decks out with that and she goes out, that is what's going to bring her the people, the prospects. So you want prospects flocking to you, talking to you all the time? Make sure you look like $1,000,000. I have been to so many events, and there isn't a time that I cannot differentiate between someone who is with Opulence and someone with any other company. I can tell it right away. And I'm going to close it with this last story. Renee shared with us when he became a millionaire in our company many, many years ago. That's why he's now the youngest millionaire. We're looking for the next youngest millionaire, by the way. If you are one, put it in the chat, the youngest millionaire here. And he was invited to Eric Worre event where they were recognizing all the seven-figure income earners. And Eric, anybody who's been to any of his events or listens to his podcast, always has one ask, and that is you do not promote your company. Therefore, you cannot bring in any products, any pamphlets, nothing to the meeting. Hundreds of people there. Renee shows up. And guess what? He's decked out in our fashion. Do you think that the security at the door is going to say, take off your watch, take off your ring, take off your belt? No, they cannot. So again and again, this is the point I want to drive home tonight. Your fashion is exactly what's going to set you apart. Your fashion is exactly what's going to get you to the top. So let's ignore our fashion. Be proud about it. Wear it everywhere. Be loud about it. And yes, of course, even if they end up buying health and wellness, no problem. At the end of the day, it's what's going to draw you to the people. On the webinar tonight is my sister Sandra here. And you can, as she can attest to it, Cartlene is also here. When we were at the National Women's Show and we had beautiful setup, guess what was the first thing that was bringing people on? Our fashion. Yes. At the end of the day, that is what's going to stand you out. So if you want to continue to grow our millionaires that are now at 17, and I promise you the next 10 years, our CEO mentioned that, we're heading for the billion. We're going to grow more millionaires. And guess what? The number one thing that's going to bring those people to you, it is the fashion. Why? No one else has it. No one else compares to what you have. So that's the last point I want to make tonight. And I want to, of course, send it back to our host. And of course, I see we have a special guest on the call. Oh my God, the queen. And of course, our SVP, Chief Designer Fashion. What an honor. Please, SVP Sanaz, welcome and share your words of wisdom with us.
Wow, wow, wow. Hello, my sister Ifra. How are you?
Amazing.
I knew based on my flight, there was no way I was going to be able to get on this call, but I just literally got in. And thank you and congratulations to our amazing, leaders like yourself, Ifra, and of course, Rebecca. I'm trying to push people out of their comfort zone to be able to do trainings that they don't normally do, because this year, the training is all about war on confusion. It's about giving you the how-tos. And I love what you just said, because one thing that I absolutely love about Ifra, she always follows the system. And I think this is one of the key principles that's created the success for you. It's being able to duplicate a system and not yourself, because I can promise you guys, people don't duplicate, systems duplicate. And one thing that I remember that you did, Ifra, and I'm actually rewriting our product university as we speak. I'm going to be launching it in the spring, and I'm so excited to be launching this manual. It's literally a step-by-step guide how to build this business, how to set up a trade show, how to set up a meeting, how to basically do a call, how to even dress to do a webinar. For example, I love your professionalism tonight. You got your banner behind you, you got your jewelry on, you're dressed for success. Rebecca, I'm sure I haven't seen her yet. There she is. She's got her jewels on, she's got her banner behind her. And again, those are the core principles that you need to follow. You need to show people what is the business all about? How do we do the business? And the other thing as well, I remember, Ifra, when you first launched, is that you basically did a grand opening for your business. If you remember, you did your ribbon cutting, you invited the people around you. Those are all the things that you did around you that made you successful, that launched your business. And, with absolutely no experience, you were able to hit LD4, be able to create the money that you did. And I know this year is all about duplicating yourself. This year is all about growing your network again. to be what it is. I see you're working with some amazing super ladies as well, building in your community, which was always your vision to do. And by the way, for everyone that's on this call, if your vision is to build in your specific community in your own language, you could definitely do that, build your community up. And then switching over to Rebecca a little bit. You know, Rebecca launched so many years ago. And I remember the first time that I met her, and I've seen her bloom and be so prosperous. She's so well spoken. She's so articulate. She's so passionate about this business and absolutely loves what we do. And when you look at this group that's speaking on behalf of everybody tonight, it truly shows you what Opulence Nation is all about. It shows the unity, the love, the strength, you know, being able to be committed to the products and then evolving and growing to become a great entrepreneur. I know Rebecca's got some big things up her sleeve for this year. So I'm actually pushing her out of her comfort zone because I know how talented she is. And it's our job to see strength in one another, push each other, persevere, grow, expand, and become a better version of ourselves. And then I see we have our super host tonight. Hervé. Bonjour, my friend.
Bonjour,
Comment ça
Sanas.
va?
Comment ça va? Ça va très, très bien. Content de te voir sur l'appel. Thank you
Ça
very
va
much.
bien.
Nice
Ça va
to see
très
you.
bien. I'm
Yeah.
back in Canada, so I'm très, très, très bien being back. And, you know, I love the fact that you're stepping up and, you know, doing the hosting.
you.
It's great to see you. I know you're going to build a big French market as well.
Yes.
And I know you're working side by side. So again, this part of tonight's call, I just wanted to come on and give you all some love for stepping up. These calls were meant to be led by you. And let me tell you, you guys want to become qualified trainers. You want to become qualified presenters. When that showroom opens up, which by the way, I was away. I was actually overseas designing our entire beautiful showroom to get the final touches before they ship everything into our containers. And I got a chance to touch and feel all the material. You guys have absolutely no idea what we're building for you. You have absolutely no idea what that showroom. And I know it's taken long, but I promise you, I promise you, I promise you, I promise you, it will be so worth the wait. There's absolutely no way that you will bring a prospect into that showroom. You will not close a deal on a product order or close the deal about getting yourself a brand new prospect, because it is going to be that impressive. It is going to be that state of the art. We just built a 20-foot wall, LED wall that's being custom built. I mean, there's just insane stuff. I don't want to give it all away, but there's so many moving wheels, and I just want to come on and just give my love to each and every single one of you. And I wasn't supposed to talk, but just wanted to give you all some love. So mwah, to the billion, back to you guys. Great job on tonight's call. I can't wait to be driving and listening to the recording.
I love your energy, you know, never tired, never tired. She's
I'm
always
actually so
boom,
tired.
boom,
I'm
boom.
actually so
No,
tired.
it doesn't show. It doesn't show. I love that energy. I love it, love it, love it. Thank you very much for showing up. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Yes, talking about product, look at this. Can you see? This is my beautiful FERI scarab. Beautiful.
I love it.
Look at this.
I love
Look
it.
at this. Look at this. Look at this. And I'm not done yet. Look at this. Look at this. I'm not done yet. It will take long, but I will stop here and I will show you where everything goes in this beautiful. I have two like this in this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Can you see here?
Yes, yes, we can.
Gorgeous.
Yes, yes. This is my collection. I'm not done yet. I have a second box like this down there.
I love it. I love it. It's the men too.
Yes, yes, yes. And that's what I like about Opulence. You know, we are in fashion, beauty, and health. And some people say I'm shy. And I will tell you that wearing the jewelry will enshy you, because people will come and talk to you. I've lived that so many times. I'm in the waiting line somewhere and somebody I didn't even know. And I was not even thinking this person will come and talk to me because I'm wearing a watch or I'm carrying my FERI Albert Meurs. It's crazy. So especially for people who are shy, number one, you will enjoy the product. Number two, these products, especially for women who have so many things, these products will call people to come and to you, and this will shine you. Even if, and I remember something Ramin said long time ago. This is fashion, right? So when people see, it's just 3 seconds. For people, somebody who likes watches, if he sees this, he never seen this, he will come and talk to me. He will say, wow, beautiful watch. Where is it from? So it's 3 seconds. You like it, you will come and comment and talk to the person. So it's very important. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for being on this call. To the billion.